Well, good morning. It is Tuesday morning, and it's supposed to get up to a blistering 53 today. Here's your funny tweet for the day. Here's a mom writing, "Love to open my windows to let in the beautiful weather so my neighbors can learn my kids' middle names." Think about that one for a little bit. My middle name is Wade. When my mom was angry, she's Daniel Wade. Now everybody's neighbors know your kids' middle names when you open the windows. Isn't that great? Well, we've been looking at the life of Joseph and lessons from him, but here's the question for the day. What did family supper look like for you growing up? Might be different, might be the same. Parents is a good way to kind of fill your kids in on your memory lane. What was life like around the dinner table when you were growing up? Parents, lead the discussion. Your kids will be fascinated. Well, we have been looking at lessons of the life of Joseph. We left you yesterday. Joseph had turned 37. And for such a time as this, Egypt becomes the center of the universe. And Joseph finds himself in the position of intersecting a worldwide tragedy with his godliness. And people are rescued by grace and mercy, the grace and mercy of one man. He has the bread. Well, let's read this morning Genesis chapter 42, verses 1 through 28. Push the pause button. Spend some time reading Genesis chapter 42, verses 1 through 28. So meanwhile, back in Israel, 700 miles away, Jacob, Joseph's father, evaluates the circumstances. He hears, probably through caravans that are passing from east to west, from Egypt through Israel and back again. The word's out. There's food in Egypt. And so he looks at his 10 sons of his wife Leah, the 10 sons of Leah, and he says, "You guys are doing nothing." So it's kind of like, connect the dots. What needs to happen, fellas, so we don't die? A question to the 10 brothers. Well, they figure it out. They go to Egypt. Jacob's 10 sons come to Egypt. They bow down to the one in charge of the worldwide food distribution, Joseph. You and I know that it's their younger brother. It's been 20 years. They don't recognize Joseph, but Joseph certainly recognizes them. Now, go back to chapter 37. You remember the bowed down dreams Joseph had in chapter 37? The dreams that originally got Joseph in hot water, that you guys are going to bow down to me, and here they are. 20 years after he dreams it, they are bowing down to Joseph. Joseph tests them. He accuses them of being spies, and Joseph fabricates a story to justify his accusation. He's like, "You guys are looking at the unprotected parts of our land, aren't you?" Well, of course they deny it because it's not true. But then he says this, "To prove that you're not spies, I want you to bring your youngest brother," because they've already revealed that they have a brother named Benjamin. "I want you to bring your youngest brother, and when you bring him back, when you need more grain, that will prove that you are not spies." Then he says, "You can simmer on this request for the next 3 days," as he puts him in an Egyptian jail for 3 days. During that period of time they're in jail, the brothers have a consequence conversation where Reuben says, "See, we sell Joseph. Now we're going to have to pay for our sin." So after 3 days, Joseph strikes an agreement. "Here's grain for you and grain for your father's household. But until you bring back Benjamin, I will hold this other brother, specifically Simeon, as collateral." Joseph even secretly places their money that they were using to purchase the grain, he puts it back in their sacks. There's 2 set tests that he is putting these brothers through. 2 tests. First, will they abandon Simeon and fabricate a story to their father that he died somehow mysterious way, just like they did about Joseph? Will they fabricate a story? Second, will they return with the money for this grain, or will they lie about it? Will they return the grain, the money for the grain, and plus bring more money for the next shipment of grain? So he's testing them. He's testing their integrity. He's testing them. Are you going to abandon Simeon like you abandoned me? Did you ever think God might be testing you? He is. Based upon how we respond in this test, can he count on us after this test is over? Here's the principle, and it's a principle that comes up over and over and over again. If you're faithful in the little things, then he will make you faithful in much. If you're faithful in the little things, he will entrust you to bigger things. So the question right now is, what little thing is he entrusting to you? Well, if we're faithful with those little things that he's entrusting to you, then he can trust us with bigger things. So the question is, figure out what are the little things right now that God is entrusting to you? And are you faithful with those? Well, have a great remainder of your Tuesday. We're continuing to pray for you. It looks like all indications are looking like the COVID is kind of leveling out. We'll keep our eye on it. But in the meantime, we will be faithful. We will seek the Lord, and we will continue to keep truth in front of you. And so thank you for your faithfulness. We continue to pray for you. We'll see you tomorrow.